Now, if you have absolutely zero idea as to what a mutual fund is, what the hell a Dow Jones means, or even know the difference between a checking or savings account, I made this video just for you. Hey people, it's Brian back at you with another video, and today's question slash topic comes from Rosie, who is still in college, and she's just trying to figure out how to budget and save for the future. Just so we're clear, my background is actually in the sciences, specifically molecular biology. I am not a financial advisor, nor have a degree in finance. And I think for the majority of us that don't have a finance background, we get lost in the terminology. S&P, Dow Jones, stocks, compound interest, index fund. It just gets so daunting and it's like another language altogether. And this is probably why a lot of people just don't know the basics, don't learn about it, and have no desire to. It's just so boring and bland of a topic. And sadly, this is what the banks and financial advisors are hoping for, so that they can manage the money for you. And unfortunately, in some cases, they actually take advantage of you, which is why this topic is just so important. And I made this video for you to give you an idea of the basics and to show you that the topic isn't really that intimidating. So I'm coming from the perspective that you are not in the search of making $1 million in the stock market within 2 months, but instead that you want to have a sensible long-term strategy for investment and savings. And I promise that the tips I share with you today are super easy to understand, that you can apply right now to help you save money. Tip number 1, avoid banking fees. That's right, you want to find banks with checking and savings accounts that have no fees. That means they don't charge you when you want to take money out, when you want to order checks, when you use the banking machine, when you pay your bill, when you use your debit or credit card, and that there are no fees just to have an account. You can also apply this tip to credit cards. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they might charge you annual fees, so you really want to stick to cards that don't charge you that. Now, some of you are probably thinking, what's a few dollars every month to have a checking account, savings account, or even a credit card? You can easily spend $150, $200 a year just in fees alone. Now, just to give you some perspective, let's say you had $2,000 in your checking account, and over the year, you're going to get some interest from the bank. Typically, the interest rate is what? 2%, let's say. That means you just earned $40 for the entire year in interest. You made 40 bucks, but you're spending $150 in fees. $150 goes right back to the bank, and somehow you made $40. It's a complete ripoff, so I strongly recommend that you avoid fees altogether. Tip number 2, minimize taxes. For every dollar you make, you and I both know that the government wants a piece of that pie. So if we take the example of you making $40, well, the government's going to take money from that $40. They will charge you taxes on it. In order to keep the government from taking that money away from you, you can actually move your money away from your regular checking account and putting it into a tax-sheltered account. So instead of putting your $2,000 in a checking account, you put your $2,000 in a tax-sheltered account. Well, if you made $40 in interest, that $40 is yours. I live in Canada, and the two products that come into mind are RRSPs and tax-free savings account. These are two products that are tax-sheltered. I'd recommend that you talk to your bank about moving your money into those accounts. Tip number 3, build credit right now. That's right, sign up for a credit card today. And I know that some of you are probably a little bit hesitant because you hear about how credit cards can put you in debt relatively easily. And yeah, I guess that's true, but only if you use it irresponsibly. And if you think that you're that type of person that might just go on a spending spree, you know what? Sign up for the credit card and just toss that credit card into a drawer and just forget about it. Otherwise, for those of you that are a little bit more responsible or have a little bit more discipline, you know what? Use your credit card once in a while, buy some small items on it, and just make sure that you pay your credit card bill every month in full. The point of all of this is that you want to start building credit right now, so that when you do end up buying a car, getting a mortgage, or maybe taking out a loan, you'll have a very good credit score. Tip number 4, Keep just enough money in your checking account. Checking accounts aren't intended to be a place where you can save money. It's really there to help you move money. So when you're paying bills, you're getting checks deposited, if you want to park money, if you want to save money, that's what a savings account is for. And the interest rate in a checking account is incredibly low. So if you saved a good chunk of change, maybe you have an inheritance and you've got, I don't know, 10 grand lying around in your account, make sure it's not in a checking account. Push it into a savings account, or better yet, into a tax-sheltered one. Tip number 5, save money by paying yourself first. So the general rule in terms of how much money you want to save is 10% of your paycheck. Let's say that amount was $100 each time you got paid. Call your bank and tell them to automatically draw $100 each payday and move it into your savings account. That way, you'll never see the money in your account, which means you'll never spend it. Tip number 6, review your monthly statements. While the advice is sound in terms of creating a budget and sticking to it, I think it sounds better on paper than it does in real life. And in my opinion, I think those that do happen to draw up a budget end up forgetting about it. So what I recommend instead is just to review your monthly statements and see where your money is going each month. It literally takes 3 minutes of your day to just skim the entire bill and just see where all your cash is going. Is it going to eating out? Is it going to beer and wine? Is it going to video games and pizza? Now, I use this tip quite regularly, and I find that it really does help me curb my spending in certain segments. 1 month I find myself eating out way too much, so the next month I make sure I tailor that back. And on top of that, I find that reviewing your monthly statement is also good for revealing any fraudulent activity. If there's any charges that weren't supposed to be on there, you can figure that out right away and have that addressed ASAP. Tip number 7, educate yourself. It's absolutely important to understand the basics of finance, to understand what interest rates are, what makes it go up, what makes it go down, what inflation is, what index funds are, and what tax bracket you fall in. You don't necessarily need to manage your money yourself. At least you understand the language so that when you are talking to the banks, the financial advisor, you really have an understanding as to what they're saying, what their strategies are, and whether you agree with it or not. There are plenty of books that you can read on this topic that really simplify everything. The one I highly recommend is called The Wealthy Barber. You can also look at books such as Personal Finance for Dummies, Money Management for Dummies, that type of book. They are great. I find that they are really good at simplifying the topic, the content, and the materials, and dumbing it down in a way that someone like myself can really understand it. And of course, you can always ask me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Just go to my website, 101mentoring.com. And there it is, 7 essential finance tips for you, Rosie, and for those of you who are in a similar situation. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I greatly appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.